Hey everyone, I've got some very popular little trees, little shrubs here, and that is my Sambucus canadensis. I don't do the Latin pronunciations well, so if I'm totally messed up that pronunciation, feel free to let me know in the comments. I only read this, I haven't actually heard it pronounced. This is my elder, my North American elder, or just American elder as it's called, I guess. And I have both the John elder and the Adams elder, which are a very common combination, but either or is fine. Well, there's a few specific things about this elder that I have found very relevant and useful in helping to grow and propagate my healthy bushes to be the strongest and healthiest possible and have the biggest harvest. Number one is that elder have very, very shallow, really shallow root systems. I mean, I was shocked. I actually had this one here. This one, no, this one, the one that grew taller. I had this one right here blow over last year in a big windstorm. Early summer last year. We got about 70-mile-an-hour winds and the whole thing blew over, just uprooted. The whole shallow root system popped right out. It wasn't a very well established root system because these are really growing on their third growing season now. So it was about a year and a half year old root system. It's only about that big around at the bottom. And only about that deep down into the ground. So the whole thing popped right out. Well, they're super vigorous with their root system, so luckily I put it back in place, I staked it down to keep it steady, and the roots just took off because this thing looks better than it did at the time. So we have shallow root systems, and with newer bushes, if they're in somewhere where you can get straight line winds, you might consider staking them down, at least for their first year or two, just so that you don't get one falling over. If you do though, they seem to come back quite well if you just catch it soon. Put it back in the ground, give it a little extra water for a while, and mulch on top of it, which is my next point is mulch. They have a very shallow root system, which means that they dry out very quickly and easily. So mulch, you can see I have a lot of mulch around here, just all kinds of stuff. I throw stubble and straw from other parts of my garden in here. I'll rake leaves from the woods later in the summer that I'll put down here. Anything at all. Last year I got a big chip drop, a bunch of wood chips dropped off here. And I mulch around these with wood chips, and that's great. Anything like that is great because they need a high organic matter in the soil to really flourish, and they flourish very well with a thick layer of mulch. I've done 6 inches of mulch under my bushes here, and they love it. I'll do about a 3-foot wide circle or a 4-foot wide circle under the bush, about 6 inches deep. Keeps down the weed pressure so it looks nicer, and it really helps those plant roots to just love the dirt. The next point is they don't want nitrogen in the soil, at least not very much. They love phosphorus and potassium. They don't need much nitrogen. Trees don't need much nitrogen because they don't have much green growth. They'll have some leafy growth, but honestly, they don't need much nitrogen at all. Just like any tree or shrub, they want phosphorus, potassium, they want some magnesium and some zinc, and your standard, a little iron. The standards that trees and shrubs and all plants use, just not so much nitrogen, which means basically all I gotta do is load down here with some kind of compostable material, something like wood chips or straw or some old grass. Not too much, I don't want too much nitrogen. Grass is high in nitrogen if it's fresh green, but old straw, rubble from the garden, wood chips, leaves from the woods, anything like that would be a low nitrogen organic material. Pile it high under these things and just let it compost in place and slowly work into the soil as that organic mulch breaks down, and it really helps these bushes to just grow wonderfully healthy and thicker, just really beautiful, really strong bushes here. And the last thing that I've done this spring is I've done a little pruning. I chopped 2.5 to 3 feet off of each of these all the way across, mainly because they were getting so tall I couldn't come close to reaching the top without getting my tall step ladder out. Now, I don't want to cut them back too far because if I do too much pruning, it's going to stress out the plant and it's going to cause more root growth stimulation to occur in the plant and a lot less fruit growth, which I don't want that. I want fruit growth this year because they have good roots now. So light pruning, I'll take them down if they get a little too tall. I'm not going to take them out, take them skinnier. I'm going to let them grow out as wide as they want. Now, if they grew too much together, which they could here, because these are only 4 feet apart, I should have planted them 6 to 8 feet apart. But if they get too thickly grown together here, I will probably space them out between them because I need good airflow. Good airflow keeps the plants from having fungal issues and mold issues, keeps them healthy. So those are the big tips that I have found working with my elder. I hope you guys are finding this useful for your own elder. Elder's an amazing plant medicinally, and it's kind of just tasty too. Go ahead and use these in your own elder with your own gardens. Just go ahead and use this information as you see fit. If you did like this video, I'd appreciate it if you click that like button, and I will see you guys next week. Bye now.